Get ready for two wild guys throwing out spicy ideals on fantasy football. Welcome back to the Dynasty Football Maniacs. Trust at your own risk.
All right, now we're going to be talking about linebackers. I know last episode we covered was wide receivers, and we said we were going to kind of rotate. We had started with the DLs, and then we jumped to wide receivers. We did a few positions before that, like quarterback, running back. So please go back and watch them episodes. They're still out there. This is our 7-tier list of players that you draft during a dynasty league. We'll talk a little bit about redraft, and some players probably move up higher, but most of these guys, we're ranking them based on a dynasty. So if I'm doing a startup, this is where I would have them as my rankings. And Austin too. So again, it seems like me and Austin pretty much on the same page to a point. Not too far off from each other. We both agree that Zaire Franklin, Raquan Smith, Fred Warner, and I'm actually shocked that you put him up there, but I'm fine. I'll put him up there too. I did not have TJ Watts as my number one guy, but all honesty, he should be up there. I don't see why he wouldn't be. So I'm good with throwing him up there.
I mean, he's just a bad mamma jamma. And, in sleeper, he's a linebacker and a DL. So, I mean, technically he can score a bunch in your DL or your linebacking spot.
So I had TJ Watts all the way down to tier 3. So I'm actually fine with taking him up to tier 1 because he is a good pick. If it was my prerogative, I probably wouldn't pick him. But any of the other three guys I named, Zaire Franklin, Raquan Smith, and Fred Warner, I try to grab as soon as possible. I also had Nick Bolton leading off my tier 2 along with Michael Parsons, just like you did. The only difference is we were a little changed up. I had Quay Walker, you have TJ Edwards, so we're not quite. And I also had okay, so we have a couple differences here. So let's slow down here. You got Nick Bolton. Let's see. I don't even have Nick Bolton. I have him somewhere. I thought I seen him a minute ago, but I guess I don't have him on my list. Wow. Oh no, there he is. He's at the end. It's a Kansas City guy. That's why I put him at the end. No, I'm just kidding, guys. I didn't say that. So I had Fosaid Oakland from Jacksonville. You have him where?
I have him at tier 3.
All right. So you had TJ Edwards. I have TJ Edwards, Nick Bolton. Yeah, so Quincy Williams is the only one I'm missing that you had. I had him in tier 3. I'm fine with moving up to tier 2. I ain't going to argue with that one. Quincy Williams can be good. I don't know. I believe he is one of the top guys. I'm doing the list live, guys, trying to sort through this here real quick. So I'm looking at this. You have, so.
Yeah, he definitely does have his days.
Hold on a minute. I know what's wrong with my list. I just figured it out. I didn't have it in order. All right, that's better. Whew. I was about to say something didn't seem right. All right, so TJ Watt finished 16 last year. Zaire Franklin finished number 1. Zach Bond finished 2nd. Robert Spillian finished 3rd. Caden Ellis finished 4th. Jordan Brooks, Fred Warner, he finished 11th. Quincy Williams, Andrew Van Kinkel finished 9th. So let's look at this list here. We both agree on Quincy Williams. We both agree on Michael Parsons. We both agreed on Nick Bolton. And we both agreed on TJ Edwards. So the only difference between me and you is some of the ones you have in tier 3, I also have in tier 2. And some of them that I have up here, you don't even have them listed. Oh my God. So, well, and that's where we could differ. I mean, I guess this is going to be a good conversation piece. This is a nice part of the show. Sometimes, even though Austin might send me his list on time, I don't maybe have the time to kind of sit there and do side by side. Sometimes I try to do that. So sometimes I just get into shock when I'm going through this and trying to figure out what we're doing. All right. So you don't agree that Quay Walker, Devin Lloyd, Miles Garrett, Terrell Bernard. Well, Miles Garrett I get because he's really more DL. So I could take him off the list. Because really, I mean, is he listed a linebacker too?
He's just strictly a DL.
DL. Yeah, I don't know why I got him on my list. All right. I think I got someone else that shouldn't be on this list. I'm figuring this out. I almost said something else.
Mm.
All right. So, okay. For some reason, I added the DL guy. That's fine. That happens sometimes. I do know Will Anderson is still listed both, but you're saying he's more DL to you, right? Is that why you don't have him?
Correct.
You don't think he'll finish just as good as he always has, or you think he's gonna be lower?
I think he's gonna be. I just really think he's predominantly gonna be DL. So that's the only. I just think he's gonna be lower.
Nope. All right. So I'm good with that. I could take him off.
Now, if he was predominantly gonna be linebacker, then that's when I would move him up. But right now, I see him just being predominantly a DL.
All right. So I'm gonna take I feel like I need to leave Quay Walker up there. Are you fine with me leaving Quay Walker in the tier 2?
Yeah, that's fine. I ain't
All
gonna.
right.
I ain't gonna argue too much about that.
Jack Campbell, he's like your first tier 3-2. He's right there. So they're all kind of like in Terror and Bernard. They're all Lloyd. I'll go ahead and move him out and throw him in tier 3. I'll meet you halfway with him. You got him in 4.
I guess I'll give you that one too.
Oh no, I mean I'm giving up a spot instead of tier 2, but
I
I
know.
kind of see your reasoning behind it in a way. Up there. All right, that looks a little bit better. So let's clear this up after we kind of sorted this out and see where we're at. Hey, I think we sorted this out a little bit. So here we are. We got TJ Watt, Zaire Franklin, Raquan Smith, Fred Warner as tier 1 as linebackers. Hands down, don't disagree. Moving into the second one, I think we kind of worked to some compromise here where we're at. Quincy Williams, Micah Parson, Jack Campbell, Terrell Bernard, TJ Edwards, Quay Walker, and Nick Bolton, tier 2. Now let's sort out our tier 3. And I think we're getting closer now. I think we're going to start aligning
Mm-hmm.
a little bit better. Let me do this here to make it easier. So tier 3, we have Azir. Both agree on that. Both agree on Zach Bond. I think he's going to have a really come out year. All right, so I moved Facade, Oakland down there, so we both agree on that. The only one I did not have in there was Jalen Walker. Actually had him really low, really, but honestly, I can see where you would have him up there. What I'm going to do right here, get rid of this whole list right here. So that guy right there, Jalen Walker. Oh, wait, you had Jalen Walker. Let me do this. I'm even more confused now. So let's see. We got. Okay, so these guys here. God, the names are crossing my eyes. I'm sorry. This is harder. Your list goes up and down, and mine goes side to side. So it's like, ugh.
Oh.
My eyes are getting messed up. So here, let me slow down. Here, I'm gonna mark this off as I say it. Xavier, we agree on. Terrell Bernard, we had moved him up to tier 2. Fasad, Fashad, whatever, we have him at tier 3. Zach Bond, we have at tier 3. I have Logan Wilson. You have Logan Wilson. So we're still on the same page. You had Jalen Walker. I actually didn't have Jalen Walker listed. So
okay.
I don't know why I didn't list him, but I'm fine with adding him to tier 3. And when we're doing our work, guys, it's always going to be different. We're not always going to have the same players in our list. I mean, it's my opinion versus his opinion and what I think is going to happen to what he thinks is going to happen. But it definitely makes sense for him to be up in a tier 3. So I don't have a problem with adding him. Trying to do something, it ain't working. There we go. All right. So you have Devin Lloyd in 4, but we met middle ways on that. Bobby Wagner, you don't have him up there. Got him down a little bit, but that's fine. I'm good with that. So Bobby,
It's strictly age. It's nothing else.
yeah, I guess in a dynasty, I get it. In dynasty, I kind of get it. So let me see what I want to do here. I'm gonna take him right here, put him here, and then I'm gonna move this group over. Somehow or another, my thing ain't looking right. I'm trying to fix it. There we go. All right. So now we're into tier. Okay, so tier 3, we got Logan Wilson, Devin Lloyd, Bobby Wagner, Azir, Fasad, Zach Bond, and Jalen Walker. Moving out to tier 4, I think we're going to be pretty much in the same agreement. You got Edrin Cooper, which he's the new rookie that came out last year, had a pretty good season. Caden Ellis, I agree. Drew Greenlaw, I agree on that. I moved Jordan Brooks and Bobby O'Creer down. Robert Spillman, even though he finished in the top scoring, you pretty much have him down lower. The same reason I do is because he's not always done that. Last year he just did a phenomenal thing in playing. You added Junior Colson to your tier 4. So that is our tier 4. That's pretty well it right there. Them. Do you have any disagreements with them?
No, I'm in agreement.
So on the next one, so our list didn't really change. I think on the next one we're pretty much just going to be dead on. I mean, I'm good with the tier 5 and tier 6 and tier 7 you have. I have no issues with that. I had Patrick Queen in 6, but I mean, putting them in 5 is no difference than what you have them. So I'm good with that. So going with tier 5, we're pretty much in agreement with. We got Jaheed Campbell, then Jamin Sherwood, Peyton Wilson, Frank Love, N'Kobe Dean, Patrick Queen, Blake Cashman, and Ivan Pace Jr. So yeah, I'm good with that. What do you think?
I'm good with that.
And then, yeah, I think after that, we're going to be pretty much in agreement. I don't see anything different. I mean, it was interesting watching the draft this year. I think we're going to have a lot of good players coming out of the draft.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Let's see who we added. Trying to see where you put your rookies at. Did I name them already? Oh, yeah, Jaheed Campbell. I'm sorry, guys. My head ain't screwed on. Yeah, I definitely believe Jahi Campbell's going to be a standout this year. Jermaine Sherman, definitely. Seems like we're missing someone. Still got my wide receiver stuff opened up, so I got to get that stuff closed out. That's even more confusing. I got a position mixed with linebacker. That was a mistake. Uh, so we both agree Jalen Walker is going to do really well. So we did have him up there. I'm surprised. Let's see. Maybe you got it on your list. I was looking for James Pierce, but I didn't see him. But maybe I missed it. Let me look at your list.
No, I don't got him on here. I think he's going to be. Actually, I think I was going to. Oh yeah, I was going to, but on Sleeper they just have him listed as DL.
Really?
Yes,
Oh, I didn't expect that.
that is the
That would
reason.
change my DL ranking.
That's the reason why I didn't put him in the linebacking list.
That makes sense. So going to tier 5, we got Ivan Pace Jr., Blake Cashman, Jaheed Campbell, Jermaine Sherwood, Peyton Wilson, one of my favorite guys that came out of North Carolina. I always said he was going to do good. I believe he'll do better this year. We know Frankie, he's going to score high like he always does. I believe Jacoby Dean will have his good game again this year. So I'm totally with all that right there. So now I believe we're got tier 5 out of the way. We got what total of 7 players. You have wow, my eyesight is that bad. Can't tell if you have 8 or 3.
What in tier 5?
Look in here. Now you have 8 listed. So how do I only have 7? You have 8. Something's not matching up. So let me see, who am I missing? Who am I missing off my list that you have and I don't have? So let's see. You got Ivan Pace Jr. I have Ivan Pace Jr. You have Blake Cashman. I got Blake Cashman. You have Jahi Campbell. I have Jahi Campbell. You have Jermaine Sherwood. I have Jermaine Sherwood. You have Peyton Wilson. I have Peyton Wilson. You have Louv. I have Louv. You have N'Kobe Dean. I have N'Kobe Dean. Oh, it's Patrick Queen. That is who I'm missing. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
He is. I had him tier 6. Are you fine with him moving to tier 6, or you just feel like he's a tier 5 guy?
He can go down to tier 6. I'm going to keep him at 5 on my list, but I'm in agreement we can move him down to 6.
All right. So the next group we got coming up is tier 6. And that's starting off with my guy, Patrick Queen, that Austin didn't have there, but he had up in tier 5. But we both agreed on Alex Singleton, Ernest Jones. I had Bobby Wagner higher, but after kind of like looking at it, I did bring him down some. So yeah, I'm good with.
He is 34 years old on like a 1-year deal, or so yeah, he was on a 2-year deal, so he's only got 1 year left.
Jermaine Pratt, I agree with. Trayman Edmonds, I agree with. Alex Highsmith, yes. And Trice yes. All tier 6. I'm good with every one of them linebackers as tier 6. Actually, Alex is a good pickup. If you get him late in the round like that, he'll definitely help you out.
Mm-hmm.
And then Trice another one that's could definitely do good. I like Bobby Wagner a lot too. So I meant to wear my linebacker shirt today, and I did do it. I forgot to wear it. I just feel like I disappointed the whole group. Because with TJ Watts on the line, Jack Sawyer there now, that's going to be interesting. I mean, I don't know where they got Jack Sawyer on the depth chart. I think he still is listed as a backup, but we still got a couple weeks of OTAs to go through.
Yeah, right now they got him projected as the second string, but like you said, there's going to be training camp and then preseason games.
So you got Trevion Walker starting off your tier 7. I'm good with that. Diane Henley, I'm also good with that. Josh Hines Allen, good with that. I think the most interesting one I see is EJ Speed. Why do you got him in your tier 7?
Well, he actually played pretty good last year.
Yeah, Levante David, I agree. Let's see what EJ Speed did.
He scored. It looked like he scored over 350.
Oh yeah, he scored in the top 20.
Mm-hmm.
So EJ Speed finished 18, and Bobby Wagner was 19, and Frankie was 20. I mean, and EJ Speed only played 15 games.
Mm-hmm.
So that okay. See, I didn't even have EJ Speed. I was sitting there like, yeah, I can see that now. Blake Cashman did really well too for only being in 14 games. I mean, he finished in the top 25. We left a lot of players out that finished in the top 25 that ain't even in our tiering list. I have Andrew Van Kinkel, and that's what I was fixing to ask you. I was just curious why you didn't have him as a linebacker.
Oh, well, he's okay, but
Finished 9th overall last year in scoring.
Yeah, but he was also they also used him a lot on the line too, so he was
But I'm saying we
predominantly
could
a
put him in
pass
tier
rusher.
7.
We can put him in tier 7, that's fine, but he's predominantly a defensive lineman, or he lined up because they ran the 3-4 whenever he played with the Dolphins, so he was standing up and rushing because he got 11.5 sacks. So, but I'm good with putting him at tier 7.
And see, this is another thing. I had Abdul Carter in my linebackers, but I had him higher up, and we're going to talk about that. I think did we agree to pull him out since we listed him in our DL list? Is that what we did?
Well, yes, and also on Sleeper they have Abdul Carter listed as a DL. They don't have
Well,
a
they gave
DL
him both
slash.
readings.
I'm looking at Sleeper right now. You can pull them
Well,
up. You can pull
sometimes
them
on
up.
the computer it don't show you, but on the phone it shows them as listed as both. The phone app.
Well, let's look at the phone app. Let's see.
That's what I'm fixing to do. Let's just do a fact checking thing. Maybe I'm wrong. I thought I seen them listed as both. I think that was our debate the last time.
Nope. On the phone too, it's got him as listed as DL.
All right, so we're going to take him off. I remember we had a discussion about it. I just wasn't sure if that's what we decided on. I just can't believe this ain't bringing up. Any other time it brings it right up. Now it's not even.
Now, if Sleeper had him as the linebacker on here too, I'd have him up here.
No, they moved him. That kind of scares me if they moved him to DL because then they ain't going to play him on the edge that much. Do you think?
He'll be on the edge. Because right now they think they got themselves a Micah Parsons with him.
Yeah, they kind of moved Michael to like a defensive tackle spot, didn't they?
Micah, he went everywhere. He ran up in the middle of the line too. So, but he was predominantly on the edge. But they did use him, and they did rush him up in the middle sometimes.
All right, I'm not going to play around. I believe you. So Austin's claiming they got Abdul Carter only listed as a DL currently on Sleeper, which when you look it up on the computer, that is what he's listed as a DL. Thought I was going to be able to bring it up because sometimes the phone will show you DL and LB where the computer does not. So I always say look at your phone app because sometimes it differs than what they have on the computer. So moving into that, right now for 7, we have Trevion Walker, Daitie Henley, Josh Hines Allen, Levante David, Andrew Van Kinkel, and EJ Speed. I'm going to add him to my list. And that's from Austin's list. And Austin also had Josie Jewell listed in tier 7. I did not have him listed. So let's see what Josie did last year. Or is he a rookie? No, he's not a rookie. He's last year, didn't he?
Yeah, he's 30.
Yeah, he ain't no rookie. Oh, he didn't finish bad. 34. Finished right above Quay Walker. The only thing is he's only played 12 games. But when he does play, he definitely makes an impact. He averages, but for this PPR guys, so this doesn't have the bonuses. If it's a bonus, he's probably averaging about 19 points a game. Right here, he's showing he's averaging about 13.9. And my list finally came up after sitting there talking to you guys for a while. I can now see players. I'm like, my phone was like, ugh. Yeah, let's see here. Jermaine Burton, that's wide receiver. We are going to look up. Oh, well, I'm not even going to look it up like that. I'll just do IDP. That'll bring it up. And then I'm search here. Carter. Messed up. Yeah. He's only listed as a DL. It's a shocker. Thought they were going to give him both listings. Looks like they've kind of cut back on the double listings, didn't they? Oh, no, that Jalen Carter. Okay, yeah, they still got him. You got DBLB down there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's just certain players. They just decided that this guy plays more this position than that position.
Yeah.
Maybe they did clean it up some this year. I didn't even look at this new settings. Let's see here. So let's do this right here. Back out. I'm just curious. Available players. Players. So let's go to linebackers. Yeah, they did clean this up some. Oh no, Jermaine Johnson still listed as LBDL. Isaiah Simmons, DBLB. Nasua, LBDL. Chris Baswell, he's always been a linebacker. Yeah, they still got it out there. Jabril Peppers, defensive back linebacker. DL linebacker, Aiden Smith. Yeah, okay. So they still have some out there. They got more top DL guys listed with linebackers than they do Chase Young on DL. Yeah, I guess that's right. Bryce Huff, DL linebacker. Yeah, I guess it's just they got some listed different than they did last year. Just happens sometimes, I guess. What they play majority of is what they're going to list them as. So I have no problem with that. So that's a pretty good list right there we got. We got 46 players listed here. So that's a pretty good list.
Mm-hmm.
What's your thoughts?
I didn't really have a really big disagreement or really anything to bring up. We were pretty much straightforward and agreed on most of these, really.
Right. I mean, most of these right down to the line, I don't think. I noticed we didn't have. Well, he's listed as edge. I need to see what he's listed as in. I haven't looked to see what he's listed as in sleeper. He could be just listed as a DL too. They did Abdul Carter that way. They might have done him that way. Jaheed Campbell, we knew he was a linebacker straight from what he played at. They did just linebackers that were like listed as linebackers and not edges for the draft. Take that edge off. See how many were actually drafted. 21 of them were listed as linebackers. Pretty good. And some of them that I ain't calling out that were listed as edge got either listed as a DL or a linebacker, really depending on where the team puts them. And some will get like the double slash. Really, I thought Abdul Carter was going to get that, but I guess not.
Right.
And we talked about that too. We said at the end of the day, we're not the ones that put the listings out there. It's going to be the apps.
Right.
So I've definitely seen that. And then there's been a lot of free agencies that signed as linebackers that were rookies that just came out this year. Let me look right here. LBs. So, wow, there was more free agent linebackers than there was drafted linebackers. You had 33 of them that signed as free agencies. Now, Shiloh, he was considered
he's considered a DB.
DB, yeah. He's a defensive back. I don't know why I was thinking he was a middle linebacker, but yeah, he was a defensive back. You guys, if you like the content, please hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. And what do you always say?
Make sure you share because sharing is caring.
Yeah, and before we take off, I almost forgot again. We got to do our top 5 rookies. Oh, my God. So let's do that real quick. I know you sent it to me. Let me close that.
I don't think I sent this one to you because I didn't send one because I know we didn't do the defensive line one last time. Or if we did, I forgot about it. But we're going to talk about it, though, either way.
All right, we'll do that. I thought you sent me one, but let me look. No, you sent me one.
Oh, I did, didn't I? Did I?
No, you didn't.
No,
That's
I
your
didn't.
regular list.
Oh, it's
I teased
okay.
you.
We'll just talk about it.
All right, so let's look at this. Draft positions, teams, IDP. So let's do that. Drafts, we'll go to that. So I already had somewhat mine listed, but I've kind of took Abdul Carter. I guess I'll be putting him in DLs, even though I had him listed as one of my number 1 linebackers. Can't play him as a linebacker. Can't list him as a number 1. I got my DLs still mixed with my linebackers here. Let me turn off my DLs. That will help me out some. And I just got linebackers listed now. So out of the rookies, that would give Jaheed Campbell, I would say, would be the number 1 rookie.
I agree with that.
All right. So the next one that I think would have the spot, looking through here at the names, would probably be Carson Schisswinger from UCLA as number 2.
And where did he go? I can't remember.
At the Browns, pick 7, round 2. And then my next one would be Demetrius Knight Jr. from South Carolina that went to the Bengals.
Okay.
And then I guess my 4th one, I don't agree with Nick Martin. I would have picked someone else. I liked, well, I guess I was the only one that liked him. Sherman James from Florida. that went to Dallas. But he went in round 5, so I don't know. And then Cody Simon, Ohio State linebacker that went in round 4 to the Cardinals, would round out my top 5.
Okay. Well,
I mean, they kind of fall in their picks. I think the only one that probably like sticks out and smacks you in the face is probably Sherman James. But I think a late pickup like that doesn't matter, especially as a linebacker. Um, Jake Kaiser, yeah, he's good for Notre Dame, but he went just in round 4. I mean, not too far off from Sherman James. I mean, it ain't that big of a deal. Cody Simon went right in front of him. So, I mean, that ain't big of a change. I got both your round 1 and round 2s in the top 5. Jameis, it's Schishenweger and Demetrius Knight. Uh, it's kind of like a battle between them as the 1 and the 2 and 3 spot.
For the most part, I agree with them. I just had them in a different order, but I do agree with them, though.
All right, and then I took all the edges out of there that I had thing, and some of them guys might actually get the double listing, even though Abdul didn't get it. Doesn't mean they're not going to get it.
Yeah, at this point, you never know.
Yeah, you don't really know because like Jalen Walker. Well, actually, he's listed as a linebacker. I just popped that up. I would actually have him higher.
Yeah, if they use him strictly as a linebacker, I would have him number 2, honestly.
Yeah, I think after I look at that, I would have him number 2. Jodie Campbell, Jalen Walker. Yeah, if he's strictly a linebacker, yeah, I would definitely swap them up. And then let's see what I'm kind of curious what Sleeper has them listed. Have you looked that up?
I know Jalen. See, this is why I think as long as they use him as a linebacker, because he's DL and linebacker. But when you go to our lads, they got him as a linebacker.
So then in our lads, they have him as a linebacker, but Sleeper has him as a DL, is what you're saying?
Well, the Sleepers got him as a DL and a linebacker, but our lads just got him in the linebacking position.
I got you. Yeah, you guys are going to have to do your research on that. Like, see what I got here. I wish my thing would be working a little bit faster. I guess I got like just something kind of, well, with the windstorms and all that other fun stuff, everything ain't been working fast anyway. So
Mm-hmm.
Wi-Fi just seems like it's not running as fast as it normally does. But that's fine. Yeah, because that would change out my rankings a little bit. I would probably still stick with Jai Campbell, and then I would go Jalen Walker, and then I would go Carson Swingler from linebacker, and then I would probably go Demetrius Knight, number 4. But it'd still be like a toss up.
Yeah.
And then I guess in a way, I would probably pick Cody Simon over Sherman James, but I really do like Sherman James in general as a linebacker. I like Cody Simon. I'm a big Ohio State fan too. So it's like, I just think Sherman had a better going to the Cowboys. That's a big thing. I mean, you're building that line right there, and I believe that'll help them out. It's just my opinion.
Definitely.
So that's our top 5 rookies. Just kind of named them off. We didn't really have an official list for them. So the next episode, I believe we'll be covering tight ends. One of our favorite positions. We usually do pretty good on tight ends. We get a little in depth with tight ends. We try to be as in depth we can for all the positions. Sometimes we'll combine the IDPs because usually we run out of time. I think this time we decided we were going to split them up, make sure we give them a little bit more love, give a full tier list for each one. Because after we do that, we'll do tight ends, DB, and that's it, isn't it?
Yeah, unless you want to do kickers.
No, I'm getting Justin Tucker all the way, baby.
I'm sure you would.
So yeah, so I mean that's all I got. This so you guys don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. And as Austin always said, sharing is caring.